What is up, internet friends and family? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 10 disturbing alien conspiracies by All Time 10s. Now, All Time 10s make great videos, so hopefully this is going to be pretty awesome. But with that being said, the original link's in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to All Time 10s if you haven't already. But with that being said, let's begin.
It's time to take a look at some of the wackiest alien conspiracies out there. So stay tuned for Nazi UFOs, lizard world leaders, and a peculiar theory behind the missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. But
Nazi
before all
UFOs?
that, let's get things underway with number 10, Alien Jesus. For the most part, conspiracy theories focus on the time period between the Roswell incident and the present day, but there has been a recent surge in theories about ancient alien visitors who came to our planet thousands of years ago and changed our culture and history forever. One of these theories suggests that Jesus Christ was actually an alien-human hybrid. It may seem pretty far-fetched, but it could explain pretty much all of Jesus' miracles. UFologist Dr. Barry Downing is one of the many people who believe that Jesus' ability to walk on water, raise the dead, and even resurrect himself should be attributed to amazing alien powers rather than a divine power. Most intriguingly, Downing also stresses the importance of Jesus' own biblical admission that he is not of this world, as proof that the divine is in fact extraterrestrial. Unfortunately for Barry Downing and his followers, there is no proof to verify his claims about Jesus being an alien.
That is by far one of the weirdest conspiracy theories I've heard. I mean, that one and like lizard people.
Number 9, the reptilians. Speaking
The
of
lizard
amazing
people.
alien powers, 12 million US citizens believe that interstellar lizards disguised as people actually rule the Earth. The theory,
See, that
dreamed
was
up by
weird as
professional
hell.
conspiracy theorist David Icke, argues that 3.7 meter tall reptilians take on human form to gain political power and manipulate human societies. Oh, and they also like to drink blood, come from the Alpha Draconis star system, and are better known as the Anunnaki.
3.7 meters tall. What the hell is that in feet? Like, I don't even know. That's like 12 foot something, right? Like, what the hell are the lizard people taking to make them shrink into human form?
For more than 200,000 years, they have been allegedly interbreeding with humans to create the elite group who rule over us today. Icke claims that many of the world leaders are, or at least are possessed by, so-called reptilians, including former President of the United States George W. Bush, Queen Elizabeth II, and of course, the Clinton.
Queen Elizabeth II has literally no power.
Number 8, Secret Space Fleet. Do you remember Gary McKinnon? Well, he was the Scottish Systems Administrator who the US unsuccessfully tried to extradite after he hacked into the military's database in search of evidence of UFO activity. And according to his supporters, the reason why he's undergone such harsh legal treatment is because he accidentally stumbled across a secret space program in US military files called Solar Warden. The story goes that the US is using NASA as a front to maintain a fleet of 8 advanced motherships secretly floating in orbit.
What?
The fleet is apparently jointly led by the United Nations and has many different nationalities making up its crew. It acts as the protector of Earth, defending us from evil local terrorists and interstellar groups. Believers in the Solar Warden program, which was apparently gifted to the USA and the UN by an alien organization known as the Star Nations, report seeing craft move through the sky in a manner beyond the capability of human technology.
That's some next level Star Trek shit right there. Wow.
Number 7, Shag Harbor UFO.
Shag
As
Harbor.
UFO sightings go, Shag Harbor is one of the most widely talked about. One October evening in 1967, a group of teenagers saw a low-flying object plummet into the waters near Shag Harbor, a small fishing village in Canada. Believing that an aircraft had crashed, witnesses contacted the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. 15 minutes later, and members of the RCMP arrived on the scene. They saw a light bobbing on the surface of the water, which began to drift out to sea and then completely disappeared. There was concern for potential survivors and a full-scale search and rescue effort ensued. But after hours of searching, authorities said they couldn't find anything in the water. No survivors, no bodies, and no debris. Flummoxed by the peculiar event, police contacted the Rescue Coordination Center to see if any aircraft were missing, but none were. So just what did crash into Shag Harbor? A military aircraft or something more otherworldly? It still remains a mystery.
Yeah, see, that one's not, well, it is a conspiracy, kind of, but, I mean, there's a lot of, like, evidence behind it, because a whole bunch of people saw this, right? So it's not just someone's crazy imagination. I mean, there is some evidence to back up what people think about it, I guess.
Number 6. Einstein knew about aliens. In 1992, a mysterious bundle of documents arrived in the post office box of Californian Timothy Cooper. Shocked by its contents, Cooper passed the papers on to father and son UFO research team Robert and Ryan Wood, who presented what they had found to the Omega Communications UFO conference on the 11th of October 1998. The documents were leaked from top-secret government files and contained a paper called Relationships with Inhabitants of Celestial Bodies, about extraterrestrial life, co-authored by none other than Albert Einstein.
Really?
Dated and signed on June 1947, it addressed concerns about the changes humans need to make in order to live peacefully alongside extraterrestrial biological entities. And it talks about the possibility that aliens arrived on Earth in order to monitor our progress. Many people dismiss Einstein's paper as nonsense, but as techniques are being developed to scan for intelligent life in new ways, could Einstein be proven right once again?
Was that like a legit theory from Einstein, or like a forgery fraud thing going on?
Number 5. Europa Mothership. While most conspiracy theorists have their telescopes pointed towards Mars, one UFO hunter has his eye on Jupiter and its moons. On the 19th of February 2016, Louis Reed spotted a bright object lurking about next to Jupiter. He claimed that it was an enormous alien structure moving in the direction of Jupiter's moon Europa, which resembled an interstellar mothership or an intergalactic cruiser. In a video on the YouTube channel Secure Team 10, Reed's findings were presented by host Tyler Glockner. He claimed that the object is definitely a reflective UFO and could very well be an alien mothership. Commentators on the video were not too sure though. They argued that the object was most likely Juno, a NASA spacecraft that was released in August 2011 to help scientists learn more about Jupiter. It went into orbit around Jupiter in July 2016. Number 4.
That sounds
Black
like
Knight satellite.
It's probably a satellite.
According to conspiracy theorists, the Black Knight is an alien satellite that has...
Okay, I thought this one has been debunked, because I've heard of it before a few times, and then I also heard that it was debunked as, like, some space debris.
Orbiting the Earth for over 13,000 years. So the story goes, Nikola Tesla first discovered its existence after he began receiving radio signals in 1899, which he believed came from space. His claims were supported by amateur radio operators in the early 20th century. In 1960, the object was observed in polar orbit above the Earth, and at this time neither the USA nor the Soviet Union had satellites in such an orbit. Scottish writer Duncan Lunan claims that the Black Knight is actually a space probe that contains a map to a faraway alien planet called Epsilon, and the radio signals were an attempt by those inhabitants to communicate with humans. Interest in the mysterious object peaked once again in 1998, when photos of it were allegedly taken by NASA. But these were quickly dismissed by the US government, who claimed that the images were of a thermal blanket lost during a spacewalk. Number 3. Underwater aliens. Considering we've explored less than 5% of the ocean, much remains to be learned about the mysteries of the deep. In 2014, a strange underwater structure was discovered on the seabed near Malibu, USA. The oval-shaped object had a large flat top and what appeared to be pillars with an entrance to an inner, darker area. Located 600 meters under the surface of the water and nearly 5 kilometers wide, few think the structure could be man-made. Conspiracy theorists, including the man who discovered the structure, Robert M. Stanley, believe that it's an indication that aliens could be lurking under the sea. Even more bizarrely, as the structure was a...
Did they go into it? I mean, if you're freaking diving and you see this shit, you might want to explore it and take pictures, like underwater, not just from above the land, because there were no pictures of it underwater, which I think it would be a lot cooler if you got, closer up to it and took pictures.
Hitting a strong audio signal, Stanley claims that it is in fact a portal used by aliens to communicate and travel to Earth. Whether you believe there are or aren't alien lifeforms in the sea, there's definitely something fishy going on.
Did you just make a friggin' pun there? I expected more from you.
Number 2. MH370 Alien Abduction. On March 8, 2014, the baffling disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 joined a whole host of eerily mysterious cases of missing planes.
Didn't this one get
Since
shot
then,
down?
conspiracy theorists have sought to explain how a massive plane that was guided and tracked by modern technology could inexplicably vanish into thin air. One of the more bizarre theories put forward was one stating that a UFO may have abducted the plane mid-flight. According to those who believe in this rather wacky theory, claims are supported by head of the Malaysian Air Force, Rodzali Daud, who reportedly stated that their radar had picked up the signal of an unidentified flying object near the area before the plane went missing. Number 1. Hitler on ice. If there's one topic conspiracy theorists love to talk about, it's the Nazis. According to ufologists, a group of surviving Nazis, including Hitler, escaped to the secret Antarctic lair after the Second World War with the help of advanced UFO technology. After hearing the news, the US mounted a military campaign against them, but they were decisively defeated and forced to retreat. An alternative explanation behind the US expedition to Antarctica in 1946 was that they went there to map out the area and deny the Soviets a foothold in the region at the same time. But conspiracy theorists believe that the voyage itself was actually a secret operation to track down a hidden Nazi base, and some of them, especially neo-Nazis, celebrate the alleged Nazi victory over the US. Furthermore, the believers are eagerly awaiting the day that a fleet of Nazi UFOs will come out of Antarctica and start World War III.
Is that for real? Do people believe that Hitler was helped by aliens and that the aliens took Hitler and some Nazis to the Arctic or the Antarctic? That is kind of insane. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments what you think is true and what you think is false. I think a large portion of this is kind of insane, but then again, that's just, you know, my opinion, and everyone has their own unique opinion, so let me know what you think in the comments. But with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe and join the family today, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop!